Let me just link you there, just in case you wanted to go check it out. These two teams very, very powerful. VGR has been having a little bit of troubles with a bunch of switches, trialing Tristanabot. See how it works out for them. Yeah.
Is this base really strong?
I will not be duo casting today. It'll just be me. So everybody prepare to cry. But let me just pull up what I've discovered about these two teams. I've been away researching, seeing what these guys have been up to. There's been a lot of uses of Thresh. Yeah, a lot of uses of Caitlyn, come to think of it. Israel's still in their blue Israel build, coming in strong in the last couple of weeks. Let me check else. I'm thinking Zed's going to be a prime target for either team. They very much like the Zed, very powerful, very bursty. And everybody is in the game. Oh, I need to reconnect to chat. Thank you. Just a bit of a shout out to everybody who is joining in today. We've got Nio, Jagatag, Aerodon, LOL, Nub Leader, and Spectral Chimera. What's up? How's it going? Gonna be a lot of fun. 3 games here. Let's see if HTC can pull it off. Oh, I got a little barren thing on Rice Cakes. He's not bowing. Oh, actually, I've got to learn how to say that, actually. Let's call him Dan. I'm thinking that's actually Dandin. No, sorry, Dunshin. Is it? Is it a replacement for him, or is that his new name? I'm very confused. Yeah, let's call him Dan for now. A little bit of an acronym going on, and yeah, it looks like Dan and Rice Cakes just aren't conforming to the frozen thingy, to the HTC1 and Lissandra pickups. Oh, none of these guys have timers. By the way, if you do still have a timer on your summoner icon, but you've won 10 games, go check out your summoner icon list, and in there will be the icon without the timer, yeah, with the timer in the bottom left-hand corner, and then you can be cool, because it says you've unlocked it, and you're awesome. A little bit. Hold up there just a minute, guys. Just gotta... Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. So this series has been going on for quite a while, and just last week we saw VGN take down VGR, which is a pretty big thing down here in New Zealand. Very, very unexpected, but VGR for this match have a chance to come back into the game and see if they go to VGN again in the best of 5 next week. HTC has been doing pretty well as well, come to think of it. They did have a little bit of troubles with Nale Secundus in the group stage. But let's just sort of wipe past that. It was a lot of fun. It was a great game. Got to come live to Big World Internet Cafe for your chance at a whole bunch of tickets to go into prize draws to win some awesome free stuff. There's also a big screen there. I believe you can come and watch everything and have fun. Group up with a whole bunch of LoL players in New Zealand. Do it. Lots of fun. Udi are going to be the first band out there. HTC1 do not like NZ stealth on that Udyr. He is very, very good. Doesn't even need that silly little machete. He just goes straight for the cloth. 5 health pods. Love VSOP doing the banning over on HTC. Rise actually getting banned out. Consistent mid champion, but not overly used by Dunshin. Again, maybe Dan taking over from Dunshin is actually a new person. I don't know. Maybe he's a sub. Maybe Dunshin just couldn't join in today. He's a bit of a Zed Lux kind of player. Didn't see him rise though. Did not see him rise. But he is taken over from the mid lane. Morgana banned out against Roy as well. Morgana actually a very consistent champion for VGR, winning them a lot of games last year. They comboed a lot of Morgana with Malphite. It was very terrifying. And then they could do whatever the hell they wanted with everyone else, usually at least in on NZ stealth. That's just old school NZ stuff going down here. Oh, and Tristana is banned. Tristana bot will not see the light of day. Well, of course he won't. He's not in this game. But yeah, Tristana getting banned out there as well. And we have seen a lot of success from Tristana. She does very, very well with a refresh on her jump in the middle of a team fight. She can really position herself anywhere she wants as long as she gets one of those kills or an assist. And I will be right back. I just slightly have to plug something in. I do apologize for the delay. And Mumu and Thresh going down there as well. We all knew Thresh was going to get banned. Nobody wants VSOP. Grabbing that for his team. That would have been the first pick. But Blitz is available. Let's see if they pick it up. Be right back. Okay, we are back, and it does look like Caitlyn is going to be picked up, the Prime ADC, and Blue, she sort of has a pick between Lulu and Janna. That's a lot of what she's been choosing. I haven't seen anything else coming out from Blue. Both of them very, very powerful supports. I'm wondering if it would make a difference if HTC banned them out, but then they would have to deal with instant stealth and, pick whatever jungler that he wanted that could synchronize really well with the team, especially a Mumu. Definitely a decision they would love to make. Hold up there again. It is a bit of a rough morning here over in sunny Auckland. I can't even tell if it's sunny. I'm locked in a very, very dark place. Just how I roll. All right, here we go. It does look like Varus is coming into play. We have seen a little bit of Varus coming out from HTC. Actually, we've seen it more coming out from Nulli, sorry. Oh! We do see the lock-in as Blitz from Gully. That may be able to make the difference coming into the late game. But considering they do have a Lulu, they can react very, very well to anything they put out. So if we see the grab coming out from Blitzcrank on anyone, Lulu can just put the wild growth down, and that can usually be detrimental to a blitz grab. So he's got to be very careful who he grabs, when he grabs them, and that it's not the right initiate for the enemy team. Getting that knock up is a great initiate. It disorients everybody, and it also means that grab is already burned out, and usually the ultimate on blitz is already burned out as well. Oh. It's interesting. Instant Stealth is thinking of actually picking up the Lee Sin. He doesn't want to go via this game. Or does he indeed? Cho'Gath's very consistent. Still a lot of high burst damage. Although I would have expected something more along the lines of Cassidy or Karthus. Very much in love with the Cassidy and Karthus. Don't think I have seen Raw on Mr. Cho'Gath for quite some time. Yeah, so it is going to be Varus locked in there as well with the support on Blitz. That's a lot of burst damage and a lot of poke, come to think of it. It's going to be very difficult for that bot lane for VGR over on the red side. And Magic Cards that could have gone for that signature Diana, still very, very strong. He hasn't been jumping back to that Renekton that he loved so much before. He did really, really well on that. And Mistrat does manage to pick up the Malphite. So they've got the Malphite and they've got the Blitzcrank, two very commonly banned champions in that ranked queue. And they are not here to be messed with. To be honest, the reason they're not banned out is because you've got a specific team set that you work with in a team, a specific champion list that you work with in a team for a certain reason. In certain circumstances. So it's hard to say, but they both have their merits. Although it's interesting, they work very differently in mechanics. Blitzcrank brings the fight to HTC, whereas Malphite takes the fight to VGR. But that's sort of a great deny initiate as well, because once Blitzcrank gets the hook on Lulu, if she does, when Blitzcrank gets the hook on anybody, if that wild growth goes out and Malphite then jumps in with Unstoppable Force, denies them all of the initiate power they had before. And yeah, it is misread on Varusov, and they're going, yep, that swap's going to go out. No Singed or Malphite. Oh, well, no, the Malphite is coming out. No Singed or Maokai sitting on Gali. He is liking that haircut. He's actually been banned out quite a lot for the haircut. So understandable. Now that he is getting it, he's pretty happy. And Volf has been playing quite well on that Jax. Jax still quite a lot of damage outputting, and he can sustain a lot of damage himself. But let's just see how it's going to turn out. 17 seconds so we actually get into the game. HTC VGR Best of 5 Game 1. And yes, this is hosted by Oceanic Gaming and LNZ. I am Snowy Padre, League of Legends shoutcaster for New Zealand. And I think Lissandra... Oh, is Lissandra banned out of this tournament? I heard she was. This series. So I don't think Lissandra is allowed to be played in this series. So we won't be seeing any of her. Had some interesting experiences with Lissandra. Actually had some interesting experiences with Kha'Zix. Recently bought Kha'Zix. And I failed in an intermediate bot game and then went 8-0 in a real game. So I'm very confused as to whether or not I'm good at this champion. It's a bit of a toss-up. And yes, the lane remaining sitting at 2 minutes. So I don't know if you guys can see some of the spells now. It's going to be a teleport on Dan. That can be very, very disruptive with this Unstoppable Force. He can have a lot of lane control, but I'm thinking up at the top lane. Hello, dude. How's it going? I'm thinking up at that top lane, up against Volf. He may get quite aggressed. But Malphite does great stacking that armor, so it could be the other way around. But Volf on Jax, he does aggress the lane quite a lot, enough to make sure Malphite isn't confident enough to leave the lane. So that teleport might not do as well. And that's what I'm seeing a lot with top laners. If you see an enemy top laner with teleport, you just want to get aggressive against them and show them that you have enough power to take the lane as soon as they get out of there. But yeah, we'll see how Volf builds if he starts off with a little bit of magic resist. Or if he focuses, sorry, at the beginning of the game, if he focuses out a little bit of magic resist for durability, or if he goes straight for his burst damage, or if he picks up a little bit of speed so we can outscale Malphite a little bit easier in the late game. But of course, there are quite a lot of opportunities on a gank from NZ Stealth. They both have slows. Sorry, NZ Stealth with a slow and Volf with a stun. Could do very well for a gank, but if he gets level 6 first, that's a great thing about Malphite. Unstoppable Force can be used very defensively as well to get out of tough little situations. Yeah, you are a delay. Come on. 50 seconds to go till we get into the game. And I've already said it about that bot game. A lot of poke coming out from HTC on the blue side. And it may isolate VGR on the bot lane. It might isolate Blue and Rice Cakes. But then again, it might not. Rice Cakes has a decent amount of range, and Blue has over-the-top poke. So they've sort of got, they've both got great range and great poke. I do think it is going to love VSOP and Mistrad if they can get the right, if they can get the right positioning. And VGR has been running with Blue for this tournament, I believe. So I'm not sure if Blue is an actual sub there, Ace Snipe. I really don't know, or if she's now a permanent member of the team. Could be. Could be. Here we go, 5 seconds till we hit the game. Both of the ADCs do have barrier, so it's going to be a little bit of a barrier fight. Oh, who just gets so frustrated by that? That moment when you're about to kill a barrier. It's like the cockblock of League of Legends. Damn. And there be all those tasty borders. Oh, it's going to be Blitzcrank on Love VSOP. So, I mean, they still haven't really fixed that, to be honest. They're working on it. Just maybe. But, yeah, the Blitzcrank skin still doesn't have a tether bound to his Q. So it can be a bit deceptive as a grab. Still just that little bit deceptive, but Obsidian Malphite's so beautiful. Okay, now in the game, let me just oh, right. That's right, I can't reposition everything. Well, Robert, if you just can reposition the supports and everything, all of the little things in another one. I know you will, but I thought I might say. Would be fun. Yeah, Diana just did not job it. No skinsies for the Diana. You had one job, Diana. You can imagine Diana's got just wearing nothing at this point. Not that I was meaning that. She had a job to put clothes on, is what I was saying. That's what I meant. Yeah. Damn. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what these guys do start out with, particularly the top lane. I mean, the mid lane is a bit of a toss-up, but if we do see Magic get too aggressive on Raw, he can just Q himself. He can just get the Rupture right underneath, and that can sort of punish her very heavily for jumping on him. And if he does get off the silence when she jumps on him as well, that's a good indication of the fact that she can't do crap anymore. It's quite funny. That's what I actually thought with Diana. Oh, sorry, no, with Diana and Akali up against Lissandra, and that does work quite well if you get up close and personal with Lissandra using dashes. She is quite a scared little champion unless she has her ultimate, which still doesn't do that much damage and doesn't last quite that long.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
It's great to delay an engagement, particularly, and allow teams to get in there. Ooh. We see converging by both teams onto a potential invade. Doesn't look like it is much from VGR. Oh yeah. Just gonna chill out in the Baron pit. Okay. But just checking out exactly what they've taken. Malphite not going for the cloth at the very beginning. Picking up his pots. Going full sustain in the lane. Ward coming out from Blitzcrank there. Ooh, apparently I am a little... Oh, right, we did a pause. That's why I'm behind. Ah, so sad. Legion's going to go. Sorry, just lining everything up again. It's a very silly person. That's going to be an interesting dynamic. I mean, we've got Volf actually not going for sustain. He's gone straight for his burst sort of supportive role with the health as well on the Doran's Blade. Means he's pretty damn confident with staying in that lane long enough and outputting enough damage. But he's got that in the bank for later in the game, and that means he can go back and sort of get anything that he wants. So maybe he's just looking to stay out of lane more. Maybe he's going to be roaming just a bit more. Doesn't want to have to deal with Malphite not taking any damage, which is going to be quite funny. He's sitting on the 5 health bots, so very difficult for Volt to be doing any damage to him right now. I'm very sure, except when he jumps on him and does that. That kind of works, maybe. Oh, and a perfect grab coming out from Love VSOP, but good traps from Rice Cakes. Good way to deny the grabs from VSOP. Just trap everywhere that is a prime location for grab time. Works out pretty well. In the mid lane, Magic are actually picking up some Flask action. We don't see Flask too often these days, but it looks like in quite a lot of these lanes, it's more sustain going on. And that is exactly what Riot wanted to mitigate. They said only 5 health pots, so it was going to be less of a sustain lane, which everyone's starting to get really, really bored by. But it works really well. And we're still seeing that no matter what. Although I do love that longsword start on ADCs, but we're not seeing it this game. They are going aggression. They're basing it off of Doran's Blades. So many Doran's Blades. So many Doran's Blades, so little time. And yes, it does look like the Rice Cakes blue burst. And there's the first blood going down up at the mid lane. It's going to be a gank coming out from Rod. Down goes Diana, and she needs that scale in the mid lane. That's quite dangerous to see. gang coming in from NZ Stealth with Raw. Wondering how they pulled that off. Probably a very, very well-timed rupture. I actually didn't see it. I was very distracted by that bot lane. Silly bot lane. Bad bot lane. Too interesting for Snowy. But yeah, that's going to very much help that lane. Let me see what he picks up. He's actually going straight for a... sorry, not a chalice. Chalice of what? It is going to be that catalyst. Thinking of picking up the Rod of Ages pretty early, so that's going to help him sustain very well in the lane. Despite the fact that there's all of them health pots and the flask on Diana, she's not going to want to jump on that show anytime soon. 0-1 in the game, and them kills and farms going a little bit more in VGR's favor right now. Our VGR back. Oh, jumping onto Dan there. Volpa's going to flash to see if he can pick up the kill. It's not going to be enough with Gali there to take the hits. Dish out the damage. I believe it was a flash burnt out from Dan. Either way, an instant stealth is here to try and pick up the slack. It looks like he's going to make it easy with a red buff. That burn is going to do its work. And auto attack's enough to take him down as well. 1-for-1 in that top lane. Do not mess with the VGR. Yeah, nothing going to catch instant stealth. I'm still quite surprised he didn't pick up the fight. He's been doing quite well with Vi in the BCS. Wow! Okay, built up a pacemaker, taking down that Varus from a range. Rice Cakes hitting all of them Piltovers at the bot lane. That's how they're poking everything out. They've denied VSOP the grabs with the traps and with the positioning. And now they're able to move into that lane and deal a ton of damage with their poke, which is going really well. Oh, that knock-up, leaving Magic R on sub 100 health. Oh, you know it's close, but Dan coming in there with the teleport, thinking he can actually kill Raw, ending up just putting him out of lane a little bit. Gonna go jungle exploring? No. Definitely not. Brutalizer coming out quickly from NZ Stealth, it looks like. And there's going to be another Doran's coming out from Wolf in the top lane. He has gone 0-1-1 now with that one kill on Malphite, who managed to pick up a giant spell. So it's going to be even harder and harder for Wolf to get those kills. A brilliant grab from VSOP on a blue. Staying a bit too close to that bush. And no, that trap is not inside the bush. No denying with the traps. Worked very well last time. If you guys do need to know anything about this series and what is going on, this is a best of 3 right now. And it will, the winner of this best of 3 matchup, game number 1 coming up now, is going to move on to versus VGN. And let's see if VGR do make it back in. They've got a lot of training to do. They didn't have a fun time against VGN in the in the semifinals coming up to this. Be interesting to see if they can pull it off if they do take the win here. But HTC quite consistent in their play. And hey, when they get Malphite and Blitz, it's quite scary, just a little bit. We do see a pause going out there. Everyone calling out the ready. So fun. Ow! But yeah, in that top lane, the sustain is actually going out from both of them now that Wolf has picked up a couple of health pots himself. And he's still trying to aggress the lane as effectively as he can. He's actually got 35 farm as opposed to the 25 sitting on the Malphite. So aggression does its job, but Malphite's still able to, he got that little bit of a reprieve from that gank in the top lane. He was able to get into that mid lane and aggress it quite a lot, but Raw still not phased by it at all. Now sitting there with his Catalyst, happy to farm them minions, get that XP, sustain that health, their manas, and of course his Carnivore passive. Very helpful in that respect. A pick is actually coming out very quickly from Caitlyn. Pickaxe and a second Doran's Blade with boots as well. So, focusing on the lifesteal and the Doran's Blades for that sustain. No, this is not LAN, it's Royce. We are... Oh, actually, it may be LAN. I think it is over in Big Wall Internet Cafe. I'm pretty sure these two teams are over there playing it, so silly me, it is LAN. I'm not here, LAN. That's the difference. But yeah, they do have a big screen over there. You can go and pick up a couple of prizes down at Big World Internet Cafe, Wakefield Street, Auckland, New Zealand. If you were to come down and say hi and meet up with some of the best players in New Zealand. Coming to do HTC and VGR, yeah. Get a gander at the almighty Wolf. Oh yeah. All the Dorans coming down here. Oh, that poke is just so disruptive, and his magic are going to be able to get off a crescent sweep. Yes, landing it on Rice Cakes, who actually managed to jump in there a bit dangerously, getting the 90 caliber net to safety. Wow, how the hell did Magic R even survive that? Coming in, seeing if she can make use of her ultimate, which is not available because she's not level 6. But may just be coming up right now. She has it. And if VSOP stays too close indeed, he's not going to have a fun time. Down goes the ultimate. I don't think, yeah, definitely not going to pick him up. His passive was burned, but... And there's the poke coming out from blue as well, really punishing them for that engage. They've had a couple of ganks, a couple of lane swaps. Hasn't worked out for them on HTC. A lot of great reactions from VGR. They've just been very, very slippery. Rupture from Cho doing its work in that 90 caliber net from Rice Cakes. Flash to 90 caliber, come to think of it. All the long distance. Galley picking up the red buff. Ra moving in mid with his blue. So blue actually not going to Magic R. Not looking to spam out them tasty crescent strikes. 1-3 in the game. It looks like VGR back in the game. Oh, blue! Great grab from VSOP. Getting blue underneath her turret. Not using them minions. Little bit of an unfortunate death there as Volf is working on his aggression to Dan, who has now popped all of the pots in the world. He's going to have to go back pretty soon, leaving that lane in control of Volf, and he's got control of that lane. He's got the CS advantage. Sorry about that. He does have the CS advantage. He does have the lane control, and he's got the damage. So as soon as Malphite goes back, that turret is not going to be having a field day at all. It's going to be Volf with the field day, and the turret with the very non-fun time. Oh, Raw is coming in here. He does manage to get the feast off. It's the ignite enough to take down Magic R. It certainly is. Another kill for Raw in that mid lane, going 2-0 now. And let's see if he goes straight up health. I'm pretty sure that that Rod of Ages is not too far away, as he is sitting on 1600. And in goes Instant Stealth. They're going to finish off Gully. No, that Onslaught of Shadow is going to save him. And actually, Instant Stealth getting taken down. He tried to get out that ward with his Iron Will. Sorry, with his Safeguard. Come to think of it, he quite didn't make it. As you can very much see, very deadly sin right there. Taking just that bit too much turret damage. Perfectly timed Onslaught of Shadows to get away. I'm wondering if it would have done well enough to actually do it under the turret as well. Would have been pretty fun. In goes Dan. He does not like the fact that Volf owns this lane with an unstoppable force. He's going to chase him out, and I'm thinking his Glacial Shard coming, Seismic Shard coming straight up now, and he's able to take away the kill. Volf, see, I told you, not going to be fun up against this Malphite who can just sustain all day long. And Volf he sort of does have control of the lane. He does have the CS, or he did have the CS advantage, rather. It's probably going to be equaled out a little bit more now. But he had the damage advantage. He just tried to stay in that lane a bit too long and put off all of that burst. And it looks like he is going to be going for a Blade of the Ruined King, picking up a little bit of magic resist now, probably going to be transitioning into, I don't know, I would imagine the Merc Treads. He would do pretty well with a more of Malmortius, but I'm thinking he wants to focus on that attack speed, on that damage. And yes, he is pretty strong on that Jax, but it's just the decision to stay in that lane that really cost him his life. Push it as far as you can. Rod of Ages now finished on that Shogarth, as he's still dominating that lane so hard. 4-4 in the game, and it looks like we may see a Dragon Engage coming up shortly. But if we do see that, both have Sun on it right now. We do have a couple of... sorry, it's only Cho'Gath with the Vision who can place it down in the mid lane. Sorry, in the Dragon lane, rather. But it all depends on the poke success of this bot lane. Positioning for HTC versus VGR's over-the-top poke, if they can get it consistently, if they can land it. But they're looking very, very confident to get up close and personal with Love vs OP, who is running in there. He may just get the grab on Rice Cakes. He does. The knockup is down. So is the ultimate. Onslaught of Shadows with Gully coming in to secure them. A double kill as well. Brilliant gank coming in with the lane. And Magic R is not going to have fun with that Ignite. Definitely not. Running a stray Raw in the jungle. Not fun. They can really farm out all of their jungle. That's exactly that's exactly what Gully is looking to do. He wants to get control of his jungle back, because now that Raw is in there, he could be missing out on quite that little bit of farm. Oh, he's got his feast up? No. So Gully may be looking to take this. Fight for the Wraith! The love of the Wraith. Oh, Wraith giving the position away. Good guy Wraith for Raw. Raw attacks Wraith. Wraith is friendly to Raw. Why'd that just happen? 6-5 in the game. HTC picking it back up with a couple of really great ganks. Moving into the late game now, it's looking very, very positive for HTC. I mean, they've got the Onslaught of Shadows, they've got the Unstoppable Force for the Engagers, and they've got VSOP with his grabs for the Engagers as well. They've got so many opportunities to engage and to deny engagers from VGR if that wild growth gets them too far in an engage, especially with a pull from Blitzcrank. But the damage from Magic R has been mitigated, so that may be where they're lacking follow-up, and in that way, they may just be that one-trick pony. In comes another gank with Galgay is getting a bit happy with that lane. Disengage is coming down all around. Flash is now popped out for the bot lane. On VGR's side, they won't be able to react as well to any ganks coming in. And now there's no sight at Dragon. Is Instant Stealth pretty confident? No. We may just find VSOP there. Oh, there's the ward capture. Instant Stealth is going to say hi to that ward. Poor VSOP. No ward for you. Wow! Tried to grab his own ward. Don't work like that. Don't work like that. Oh! A very good 90 kill of a net, keeping Rice Cake safe, but it's not going to be enough to save Blue. We got picked up just a little bit with the range from Varus. Easy going to be taking that ace in the hole. Doesn't even care. But Raw may be able to change that with a success in mid. He's looking very, very tanky. He did pick up those Merc Treads as well. Going to be leaving VSOP in the dark when he knocks him up. Won't be as successful. Now that everyone has converged, they are backing out though. It's very interesting to see no turrets have gone down at the 16-minute mark in the game, despite all the aggressions in both lanes. But hey, that's how you react to an aggressive lane. You aggress them right back. Tell the jungler to get his ass right in there. It's going to be the side stones coming out from both the supports very early in the game. We don't actually have the start out Philosopher's Stone from Lulu. She wanted all of that side to control the lane because they were having a lot of troubles from Gully. I can tell you that a 2-0 in that bot lane, not looking very happy. Now that Magic R is scaling a bit more to the late game, he's only grabbed the Sorcerer's Shoes, which does really bump up his damage output, but those two Doran's rings will have to go soon. No significant change to, no significant item pickups because of the way that she has been pushed out. She's sitting only on 1k floating gold at the moment. It looks like VGR are going to be able to get this dragon uncontested. They do want to contest it. Gagel is actually going in there as they make the engage. The dragon did go down to NZ stealth there, and this may go very much in the favor of HTC. Oh, that poke just perfectly placed from Mistrat. Gonna land them that triple kill. That triple 3-for-1. Magic R getting up close and personal. I mean, he's still been knocked out of his lane very effectively, which does mean that when he jumps in there, that's what he does. He goes in there with the Lunar Rush, and if he can't take a hit through the AoE, then he's going to die very, very much. 3-for-1 exchange, not quite making it. I mean, Dragon, it is sort of 3-for-1 plus Dragon. All the calculator stuff here, but overall, really not worth it for that engage. They were baited out there a little bit with Gully and Magic sitting in the bush, just knowing exactly that it would happen. They were like, oh, yeah, we're not here. False sense of security, VGR. With that, it leaves HTC to pick up the the second turret in the game. It was the aggression up at the top lane that really worked out for Jax now that he has the lane control by taking down the turret. But now HTC has control of the bot lane, and in that way, it gives them a little bit more control and sustain over Dragon. So when that does come up, that can easily be a little bit more in their control. Raw still doing quite well, and that could be their trump card. Raw on Shogarth with the wild growth on Lulu can work very, very well for those engages, and that means they don't have to worry about the Blitzcrank quite as much. And now that Varus is sitting 4-1, all of the AoE from their team is just going to escalate so much. If he grabs himself up a Hurricane, which he may not do, Runan's not very popular, but if he does grab that Hurricane, getting off a couple of shots leading into a hail of arrows is going to be very, very strong for all the disruption available for HTC. It'll be interesting to see if HTC does blow all of the ultimates at the exact same time, or if they're trying to follow up just a bit later with sustained ultimate presence. So if they go in with Malphite, and then they just hold off on the onslaught of shadows, just hold off. Whoa, actually, something's just disappeared for me. Chat. All right, the target frame. There we go. If they hold off on the onslaught of shadows, if they hold off on the static field, they can have a lot of control over team fights. Yes, it certainly has been destroyed. Now that they left that bot lane, while they do get the mid, and they do get overall more control, that bot lane going down thanks to Rice Cakes. Heading up to go back. Maybe going straight for that Infinity Edge. With Blade of the Rune King on to Varus. He's looking for some decent auto attack, not going straight for burst. Still very effective, mind you. No blue Israel builds. I'm interested to see if we are going to see a blue Israel build today. I've heard quite a lot about them. They are pretty tasty. There we go. See, Magic R's damage just does not make its work. And Volk did actually decide to go for a Hex Drinker, not going straight for a second level boost, not going for those Mercury Treads, sorry. As it's going to be blue taking the turret. Nah, they do manage to push straight in there. Now Volk is in a difficult position. Onslaught of Shadows going to pick him up very quickly. In goes Malphite with the Invisible Force. And that is it. HTC able to clean up everybody. With Raw on the Wild Growth, he was able to sustain that for a little bit longer. But that went very quickly in favor of HTC. Oh god, they converged right after that turret went down, and there's their ultimate presence. Gully managed to fear them all back with his onslaught of shadows, and then pick up the initial kill, leading on to an unstoppable force. Everyone on VGR was just way too low, and this is where they may have problems. They were doing very well at the beginning. They have great gank presence. They have decent lane presence, to be honest. Good poke in the bot lane, especially. But when it comes to those team fights, they don't have the ability to backdoor really. They've got a little bit of escapes on NZ style, to be honest, and a little bit of Wolf maybe. But it doesn't. They don't have any direct teleports or anything like that, so they can't really backdoor, and they're sort of forced into these team fights. They need to gain a lot of control of the map. They need to scale way over HTC. If they don't, they're gonna have a problem. That's the beauty about HTC. Even if they do start failing, they can sit back and go, let's farm and let's wait for a team fight to come in. A lot of Sunfires coming out from HTC at the moment. God, they're looking very, very tanky. And a good mix as well now that a Negatron Cloak is on Gully. Only a 2k gold gap coming overall into the game, but again, that's the difference. If those gold gaps remain equal, those team fights are very much in favor of HTC. Yep, Volv cannot even sustain a fight with Dan. Can Dan pull it off? He does have the unstoppable force, and in comes Magic R, actually burning out the Lunar Rush. Oh, not able to make it. If a fight lasts longer than 10 seconds, if a fight does last longer than 10 seconds, yes, I did say Negatron Cloak Destro Wood sitting up there on Hecarim, as he is going for a mix of durability, sort of resident tank there, and with the Lizard buff it works quite well, because he gets the burn on everybody. And now they're able to sustain in that top lane. They're going to go in for the push. They've got all 3 turrets on either side, but the pushing power is really in favor of HTC here. As long as they roam together, they're going to be very, very safe. Nigga in EG. Come on, Destro. Nigga. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. It does look like an IE is going to be coming out from Varus pretty damn soon. 15-7 now in the game. But VGR is still doing okay to sustain in their gold at maybe a 4K difference. They still have their jungle though, and we're still yet to see what's going to happen in Baron. Both of these teams fighting very hard to see who does come in to the best of 5 grand finals next weekend. Yep, and they're just going to be sustaining in their jungle. They don't really have that many farm opportunities. If they do go outside of their lanes, they're gonna be in a very difficult position. Definitely, indeed, Nubblead, a very interesting pick for the Sunfire onto Hecarim. And he's actually going to be picking up a he's actually going to be going straight for an Aegis as well. So he's being very supportive, very tanky for his team, which is sort of Malphite's job right now. It is quite interesting to notice their damage maybe dropping up. Maybe dropping off a little bit to the mid game. Sorry, a little bit to the late game. It's mid game now. What am I talking about? What am I talking about? Get the Nom Nom Cho. Ah, no Cho for Nom Nom. Sitting at 5 stacks anyway. What does he care? What does he want? There we go. All of the ward clearing going out from HTC. They can bait out Baron now if they want to, or they can go for it once they have sight on VGR. VGR are not confident at all to go out and put sight on this Baron, so it's sort of HTC's right now if they want to. But VGR getting ready to jump in if they need. Now they're going to be able to ward this. I think they have been sighted by that ward there. There we go. They know Baron's there. They know he's safe. He's safe and sound. Always got to keep an eye on that. If you are a support, leave at least one ward for that Baron, or everybody's going to yell at you, and you don't want that. No. You want to be listening to the people who yell at you, otherwise they're going to get angry. Nah, I'm kidding. Guys, love your supports. Pro tip. Pro tip for life. Oh, Mistrat, key ADC. The Chop Knob goes down with a flash from Cho'Gath. Wow! Mistrat staying in there just a little bit too long. Roll will be going down here unless he manages to flash 100 feet away. No, he's very much dead. I think he just got a fist in the face from VSOP. Just leading him to exactly what he wanted. But that was just a massive amount of damage output coming out from Cho'Gath, denying the flash from Mistrat with his silence, with his feral scream. Means nobody gonna get away from here, leaving HTC again to push up on those turrets while VGR are sneaky with the Baron. They have sight on this. HTC know what's happening. But even with the Baron, I don't know if they can quite come back from this. NZ still taking a lot of damage from this engage. Volt's gonna have to share all of it out from him. Oh, and then comes the teleport from Dan. Gonna be denying all of the Barons. And Volt now in a very difficult position, hanging out on HTC's jungle. What are you doing, buddy? It was a good effort, to be honest, but they needed that ward clear to really secure the Baron if they were going to try and steal it out. And Volt might just make it out of there with a couple of jumps over to the minions. Oh, yeah, he's going to be fine. He is going to be fine. Oh, now HTC starting to deny jungle farm as Varus picking up a kill on Jax. He didn't quite escape from that engage. He was very ready to go B, but he should have sort of ran away. Felt like he could sit in that bush and do as he pleased. Wolf Bino Mundo, but hey, no, they're not going to be going for that that Baron engage. They're very hesitant as to what's going on here. And goes the initiate from Malphite. He does have the unstoppable force, but their damage output is a bit lacking with the tankiness from Hikanem, as opposed to the straight up damage output. And they don't have a vision ward to take it down. There we go. Blitz putting down the vision ward. Magic are going to be denying sight. And are they actually going to do this? Are they going to bait it out? Are they going to transition into the Wolf jungle? Wolf goes raw. Going to be have to deal with the love visa. Oh yeah, there we go. They're still converging into the mid lane. They're not choosing to go for that Baron. Still obviously feel like it's either not in their cards or they don't have to. They can force VGR into a bad position, and especially if they get down that inhibitor, it's going to be a lot for VGR to deal with. 17-9 now in the game, 5k gold lead and advantage to HTC. Blade of the Ruin very much finished on Wolf as well. There are a lot more damage opportunities coming out from VGR, but not as much sustain and not as much initiate power. Alright, here we go, and they are sort of poking up at that inhibitor. Still very much not confident that that their one-trick combo is going to land them enough sustain in the game. If Raw can be in front of them for whatever they do, they can control that fight a little bit more effectively. But they don't quite have as much range as they need with the pure damage coming out from Varus, who's done very, very well in this game. Sitting 226 farm 7-2 with the Blade of the Ruin King and the Infinity Edge. Now they have Dragon Control, going to be widening that gold gap, doing as they wish. And a Lichbane actually up on Cho'Gath as well. So once he saw he was getting that, he was really dominating that mid lane against Diana. He's going straight AP. Does not even care about tanking up for his team coming into team fights. He's happy with that Rod of Ages. And sight now denied from HTC. Let's see if the Unstoppable Force is going to arrive there in time. No, it's not. It's going to be VGR taking away that dragon. Sorry, Baron, rather, that very special dragon. Yes. If they take away Dan, if they deny. No, the ultimate is not going to be denied. In goes the Onslaught of Shadows. The knockup landing on Raw with the ultimate coming out from Blue. Not going to be enough to sustain, and the ultimates did already go down from HTC to control the fight. That is not what VGR wanted. They all bunched up. They allowed for that Unstoppable Force and that, and the Onslaught of Shadows to do exactly what they needed it to do for HTC. Hit on everyone, destroy the rest of VGR. It was a 1-for-1 exchange overall, but you could see that they were pushing VGR out entirely. With Varus following up on the damage, they really could have taken away that fight, but they got a couple of it was a split from VGR to get them out of that fight. Really making HTC choose their targets as they're trying to go for that blue steel. Now the ultimates are burned. VGR are pretty confident they can stay in this fight. Definitely something they can do now with the Baron. Jax is going to be coming back into the fight. Oh, just a little bit of yawning for me. Do need my morning coffee. Excuse me while I... Yummy. So yummy right now. Coffee going to keep me going. But that is where it falls off. Once those ultimates are down for HTC, despite the perfect fight, despite the perfect initiation, they don't have the damage to follow up on it, and their abilities are burned down. So, what can you do? Alright, so HTC coming into the game, they do have the ultimate advantage. They do have the team fight advantage in that respect, but now VGR are able to go up against them head to head, and once they burn everything out, if they can get a couple of baits out for those ultimates, they can really take away a fight. Warding is going well in their bush, and they've made great great use of their jungle and control of their jungle, now roaming around a bit more as a team. Wild growth doing very, very well for blue. As I said before, that wild growth can really change around the team fight, and they got those ultimates off a lot more on Shogarth than anyone else. They got down the wild growth there, and that was what sort of allowed them to get that perfect disengage, to get that perfect split. This is the first semi coming down. This is the technically the semi-final. It's not really the bronze match. The winner of this, seeing as it is a double elimination bracket right now, moves on to face VGN in the finals. So this is sort of still semi-finals. Bronze match going to follow up a little bit after. I believe Nulleye will be versing somebody from this bracket. No, not technically quarters. Double elim up at the very, very end. So technically it is still, it is semis. Come on, where are the ultimates? Where are the ultimate engages? They can't quite get all of this. And now that Rice Cakes is able to freely poke them, they're not looking at a very happy team fight. Gully, he's going to have to jump in there with his onslaught sometime. Oh, and in comes Raw. Is he going to put down the Nom Nom? He does manage to take him down, Gully. One feast from Shogarth. Down at that much health, that true damage is going to do enough to take him down. It is now a 4v5. And in goes the Australia's River. Lovius OP, hoping that he can get a grab off. Didn't quite work out for him. And Instant Stealth actually thinking he can go for the initiate, getting the slowdown. Out goes the Wild Growth on him, as well as the oh god, everyone's going down. It is actually going to be Diana going down first. She did get a little bit of displacement with the kick from Instant Stealth, but he follows closely after. Mistrat coming in here to clean up the rest of the fight. That is what made that difference. They caught up on that Diana, and Mistrat just wasn't there to capitalize on it. But once he got in there, the damage was outplaced. And Diana, with that Zhonya's Hourglass, didn't quite work out for her, as the kick was saved by Instant Stealth, perfectly displacing her and controlling that fight. Wasn't as much of a reaction from VGR as there should have been, though. If they were all in there, they may have been able to pick up the triple. But Mistrat really making the difference with his lead 10-2. And still, Diana, she's just managed to grab a Rabadon's Death Cap. She still has no tankiness on her side at all. Awkward for you. Imagine how it feels for me. I get to cast this. What am I talking about here? It's very sad. I'm kidding. They're doing okay. And it was just the ability for VGR to react to that. And it was a very split-second decision, to be honest, from the Instant Stealth to jump back to that ward. And it did displace them from the team fight overall. Hey! VGR get another kill. It's going to be 2013. It makes me happy because it relates to my life. Dragon is available now, although I don't think anybody is looking to really take a map objective right now. They'd be looking to bait it out, most definitely. Oh, sexy little purple thing is coming out on... Oh, they're very much gone. I believe that is the Lichbane. So apparently Lichbane, pink on Raw. That's pretty sexy. I know that Dragon's still not going down. See, these teams are not confident to take map objectives because they know once they start doing it, it puts them in a difficult position to fight against the other team. And it really is a toss-up as to who is going to get the win in the team fight, and that can really change around the game. Whoever gets that team fight is going to be able to get a couple of inhibs. Rice Cake's actually picking up a static shiv. Very interesting to see. Not going for the Bloodthirster earlier in the game. Not picking up the damage that she can really get with Ace in the hole. Focusing on those autos, most definitely. Actually not picking up a Zeal. So, still a lot of damage output. But based around that low damage item on the static shiv in comparison to everything else, where will that leave them? There are no wards around here for HTC. Is it going to be a bait out from VGR, or are they going to attempt this? Looks like an attempt, but in goes Gali. He's going to jump in there with his Onslaught of Shadows. Gets it on everyone on VGR. Great initiate as they manage to take down Instant Stealth in the middle of that. While Dan and Gali with the rest of VGR back. It is a 1-for-1 as it stands right now, but VGR looking very, very low there. They're all going to start dropping that Spirit Blue. He's saving her as Rice Cakes manages to flash out of there. 1-for-2 exchange, and now the map is in complete control of HTC. That Onslaught of Shadows are making the difference. They started focusing down Gali, and then in went the Unstoppable Force again from Dan. They had control of that fight. As soon as VGR started trying to focus the wrong people, well, the only people they really could focus, and they managed to get the Baron now. They get, oh yeah, they're doing they managed to get the Baron now as Volk is trying to backdoor. He is going to be able to get this turret, you sneaky little... Okay. There he goes down. Everyone back. They're going to try and chase this out. They're going to try and weed out this Volk. Oh, God. I don't know if they're going to be able to find it. Oh, and there's the flash, sorry, the flash jump. There is the ward jump coming out from Volk. He's just not going to let this happen. If Mistrat, oh, is he, no, he's not going to go for the ultimate. Oh, he doesn't have it. Oh, Chain of Corruption, not available. Sneaky little Volt jumping out of there. But hey, Blue is one tasty little constellation prize. Constellation prize, what am I talking about? Constellation prize. For all of the Snowies that do not understand English right now. 23-13 with VGR making the throws, just jumping way too close to HTC in the late game. Well, yeah, they've got to be very unconfident about engaging. Well, HTC has the perfect engage, they can't follow up. And while VGR can't really engage, they have the perfect follow-up with their damage and their displacements with the knockups and the kicks coming out from inside stealth as well. So it just depends how late a fight goes. And Gali may just be taken out very quickly in the game. He does get out of there with Onslaught of Shadows, so perfectly placed Chain of Corruption going down from Mistrat, locks down the rest of VGR. That's what really turned around the team fight, but it is going to be a 1-for-1 exchange overall as they push out VGR. They got them very, very low, grabbed themselves an inhib. And this is HTC here sitting with Baron, so it was sort of an equal trade, an equal team fight. Still a bit more damage coming out from HTC when the Onslaught of Shadows went down. They could put out a bit more damage without the reciprocation. Oh, VSOP gonna go for the grab onto Raw. Was a wise decision as it was in the midst of HTC. Now is still trying to go to the rescue. And a perfect unstoppable force from Dan, followed up with a from Mistrat, going to be landing with a kill in the ADC as well. HTC have taken away this first game, guys, very, very wonderfully. There's a blitz grab, there's a Malphite unstoppable force. I wouldn't be surprised if those two were very much banned out in the next game. It is a best of 3, so don't go away for game number 2 coming up soon. HTC taking away game number 1. Good job, guys. Well, to be perfectly honest, a lot of that was taken away at Champ Select. It really was. You had the Blitzcrank, you had the Malphite. They've got great initiations, and the perfect thing about them is their initiations deal a lot of damage, so they don't quite drop off as much as you would think if they do build tanky. Very interesting that they did get Gali to build tanky. They were still able to pull off enough AoE with Diana and Varus. Varus in particular, from behind, being able to pull out that damage. Follow up on it very, very well. But we'll see. Apparently, Oh no, we are. Yeah, we are going to see Blue staying in there for the VGR for these 3 games.
But no, first pick
I
is
thought
actually
someone there
taking
before
quite a
said they
long
were going to
time.
swap out, but I think it's just me reading everything very much wrong. But yeah, those team fights just made the plays. Those grabs made the plays, and the back and forths. I mean, would it have really made a difference if VGR roamed together a little bit more, and if they took more opportunities to engage? Because if they engaged when they were close up in the jungle, they had the damage output to make the difference. Oh, apparently I'm disconnected from chat. Ah, I gotta get into this game. Got to get in. Show private? Oh, very much.